Alright class, today we're going to be learning about Roman numerals. In the Roman numeral system, there are 7 symbols. There's the M, the D, the C, the L, the X, the V, and the I. Each symbol represents a number in our number system. So we're going to go from the greatest number, which is M, and that would be 1,000. Next is the D, and that's going to be 500. After that comes the C, which is 100. Then we have the L, which is 50. The X, which is 10. Then we have the V, which is 5, and the I, which is 1. Now that you know the symbols and the numbers associated with those symbols, there are 3 rules that go with reading and writing Roman numerals. The first rule is the rule of 3. This rule is very simple. You'll see a lot of Roman numerals and there'll be different symbols meshed together. The rule of 3 means you can't have the same symbol next to each other more than 3 times. So you can have it once, you can have it twice, you can have it 3 times, but 4th time there will be another way to get that number. And we're going to go over that in a different rule. So let's just go example. When you're trying to get 1, it would just be an I. When you're trying to get 2, since you can have 2 together, you can have 2 I's, which is 2. The 3rd one would be, if this would be the max of having the rule of 3, would be 3 I's. And that would be 3. I'm going to show you 4 the wrong way. This is something that you would not want to do. I'm going to put it does not equal to 4. It works with many symbols. If you wanted to get, let's say, 30, you would put 3 X's next to each other. Well, now that you got the rule of 3, I'm going to go over another rule. And the second rule is the rule of addition. This one is simple. You're going to have, let's say you compose this, and when you have more symbols next to each other in a row trying to read them, when the symbol that's first is less than or equal to the symbol, or greater than or equal to the symbol to the right of it. So let's say our first one is an X and an I. When you have your first symbol and it's greater than or equal to the symbol to the right, then you're going to add the 2 values that they are. So X would be 10, be 1. So xi equals 11. And another example is when we have a c, an x, and a v. And with going by the numbers values, the c equals 100. And the x equals 10. And the v equals 5. As you can see, the 100 is bigger than the 10 is bigger than or greater than or equal to the 5. So this, again, you would use the same addition rule. So the 100 plus 10 plus 5, that equals 115. I'm going to go over one more with 4 or 5 different symbols in there, and we'll get a hang of that, and then we'll go over our last and final rule. So, let's see. If you had M, M, L, V, I, what number would that be? I'm going to give y'all about 10 seconds to try to figure out amongst by yourself, and then I'll go over that. Okay, it's looking like everybody's done. So, just like with the other rule, you have, this one comes a little different because we have 2 M's. So we have the M, which is 1,000, plus another M, which is another 1,000. Since they're the same, since going in order, since they're the number is less than or equal to it, you're going to do this addition rule one more time, just like the other ones. And then the L is smaller, so it's greater than or less than or equal to, which would be 50. And then you have the V, which is 5. And then the I, which is 1. So if you add that up, that's 2,056. All right. So we have the rule of 3. We have the rule of addition. And the last one, what do you think that is? That's correct, the rule of subtraction. So, in the rule of subtraction, it's when you have a number that comes in first. Let's say we have an I. And then we have the number that comes after that number is greater than the number that became first. Let's say we had V. I know everybody was wondering, how do we get 4 if we can't have 4 I's next to each other to get 4? Well, this is the way that you would do it with the rule of subtraction. Since the first number is smaller than the second number, you would put the first number would equal 1, then minus 5. And the way you would do that is the order of operation, you do the 5, the bigger number, minus the smaller number. So you're working right to left in this during the rule of subtraction. So 5 minus 1 equals 4. For another example, we have x, c, I. Alright, this is going to be using actually the rule of subtraction in addition to the rule of addition. So, x we know as being 10. The c we know as being 100. And we know the 1 is, or the I is 1 plus 1. I'm just going to underline each time that the smaller number came first. So we have the x, which is 10, and which is a smaller number than the c, which is 100. So that's where we get the 100 minus the 10, which is 90. And then plus the 1 plus the 1, which equals 92. I'm going to do one last example before we start on our worksheet. And this is going to have more numbers than we have done before. We're going to have C, D, X, E, Alright, with this one, we're going to have both subtraction rules and addition rules. So the C, which equals 100, we have 500 for the D, so we know there's going to be a subtraction in between that. Then the X is smaller, so we have 10. Then we have plus 5. And then we got 1, 2, 3. You can write it with the bars, the 1, 2, 3, or you can write it just as I's, single lines. Plus, it's going to be 1 plus 1 plus 1. So, when doing it, since we do from this way over, we do the 500 minus the 100 equals 400. We have plus 10. Plus 5, and plus 3. And that equals 400, and 10, 5, and 3 is 18. Alright, so now that we've gone over all the rules and examples for every rule, we're going to be handing out a worksheet. We're going to go, you can work with the person next to you, or and then we're going to work on it for 10-15 minutes, and then we're going to come back and put each problem on the board, and one of y'all will go over the problem. If anyone has any questions or needs a little more work on anything, we'll do that, and then we'll conclude our Roman numerals. Thank you.